Persephone, daughter of Demeter, goddess of agriculture, and Zeus, king of the gods, was a figure of remarkable beauty and innocence. Her presence was like a delicate flower blooming in spring, untouched by the harshness of the world. With soft, radiant features and a spirit as pure as morning dew, Persephone roamed the vast, lush meadows and fertile fields that her mother lovingly tended. Every step she took seemed to bring more life to the land around her. Flowers unfurled in brighter hues, and trees stretched their branches toward her as if drawn to her gentle spirit. She spent her days gathering wildflowers and laughing freely, her voice carrying like music across the open fields. Persephone's world was one of endless beauty and warmth, a place untouched by darkness or sorrow. She knew little of the deeper mysteries of the world, remaining blissfully unaware of the underworld or its shadows. In her innocent heart, the world was eternally safe and beautiful, nurtured by her mother's protective love, with no hint of the fate awaiting her. Hades, the formidable god of the underworld, lived surrounded by shadows, in a realm of endless night and mystery. His existence, shrouded in solitude, rarely intersected with the vibrant world above. But one day, a sight so pure caught his eye, a vision of Persephone, the radiant daughter of Demeter. She moved through the fields with grace, her laughter like music, her beauty a light that seemed to defy darkness itself. Her innocence, untouched by the world's harsher realities, stirred something long buried within Hades. For the first time, Hades felt a longing that he could not ignore. Persephone's presence ignited a desire within him to bring a touch of her light into his shadowed realm. Her purity and beauty fascinated him deeply, awakening a wish to have her by his side, to share in the bleakness of the underworld and bring warmth to its depths. Driven by this obsession, Hades began to contemplate ways to make her part of his world, forever altering her fate. On a sunny day, Persephone wandered through a lush meadow, her hands dancing among the vibrant flowers. She laughed as she picked the most beautiful blooms, lost in the joy of the moment. Suddenly, the earth trembled beneath her feet, and before she could comprehend what was happening, Hades, the dark lord of the underworld, emerged from the ground in a chariot of shadows, his presence commanding and fearsome. With a swift motion, Hades reached out and grabbed Persephone, pulling her into his embrace. The earth cracked open around them, revealing a gaping chasm that seemed to swallow the sunlight. As Persephone gasped in shock, Hades took her deep into the underworld, the world above fading away. Her cries echoed in the silence as they descended into the darkness, where flowers could not bloom. Hades, captivated by her beauty, sought to claim her as his queen. The meadow, once filled with her laughter, now lay silent, marking the beginning of a new and tumultuous chapter in Persephone's life. When Demeter discovered that her beloved daughter, Persephone, had vanished, her heart shattered with despair. The goddess of agriculture, who once brought life to the earth, was now consumed by grief. She searched every corner of the world, calling for Persephone in vain, but her cries went unanswered. Overwhelmed by sorrow, Demeter abandoned her divine duties. The fields, once vibrant and lush, turned barren and lifeless. Crops withered away, and a relentless winter blanketed the land. The sun's warmth faded, plunging the world into eternal cold and darkness. Flowers wilted, and the joyous melodies of nature vanished into silence. Mortals suffered as hunger gripped the earth, facing starvation without the bountiful harvests they once enjoyed. Demeter's pain echoed through the realms, and she resolved to confront the gods of the underworld. Little did she know that her anguish would ignite a fierce struggle, ultimately changing the course of her life and that of Persephone forever. Desperate and heartbroken, Demeter embarked on a relentless search for her daughter, Persephone. Her spirit was consumed by anguish as she wandered through fields, forests, and valleys, calling out for her beloved child. Each day brought only more sorrow, as the once vibrant landscapes withered under her despair. Refusing to let the earth flourish without Persephone, Demeter placed a curse upon the land. Flowers failed to bloom, and crops lay barren, reflecting the goddess's grief. Mortals soon felt the weight of her sorrow, as hunger spread across the world. No one could enjoy the bounty of nature while Demeter mourned. As she traveled, Demeter disguised herself as an old woman, seeking knowledge from anyone who might have seen her daughter. Her determination was unwavering. She would not rest until Persephone was returned. Little did she know that her journey would lead her to the very depths of the underworld, where Hades awaited with his dark intentions. As the world withered under Demeter's grief, Zeus recognized the urgent need to restore balance. The barren fields and starving mortals cried out for his intervention. Seeing his mother's suffering, Zeus understood that he could no longer remain a passive observer in this tragic tale. With authority befitting the king of the gods, he summoned Hades to Mount Olympus. Zeus demanded that Hades return Persephone, knowing that the fate of the earth hung in the balance. "You cannot hold her forever," he declared, his voice echoing through the heavens. "The land needs her light, and Demeter's sorrow must end." Hades, while reluctant to part with Persephone, understood the necessity of Zeus's command. The consequences of his actions were becoming increasingly clear. Realizing the impact of his choice, he agreed to let her go. Yet, he devised a clever plan that would keep their bond intact, setting the stage for a bittersweet resolution that would forever alter the seasons of the earth. As the time came for Persephone to return to the surface, Hades devised a cunning scheme. While he begrudgingly accepted Zeus's order to release her, he sought to ensure that she would remain tied to him. Inviting Persephone into his shadowy realm, he presented her with the enticing pomegranate, a fruit that gleamed with a rich, crimson hue. "Try these exquisite pomegranates," Hades urged, his voice smooth and tempting. "They are the sweetest fruit of the underworld, a taste unlike any you've known." Intrigued, Persephone took a bite, savoring the juicy seeds that burst with flavor. Unbeknownst to her, each seed symbolically linked her to Hades, forging an eternal bond. Despite her initial joy, a heavy realization struck her heart: by consuming the fruit, she had sealed her fate. When she emerged from the underworld, part of her would forever remain with Hades. Thus, the cycle of the seasons began, marking her as both the queen of the underworld and the goddess of spring. As the seasons turned, Persephone finally returned to her mother, Demeter, under the watchful gaze of Zeus. The reunion was filled with tears of joy and relief, as Demeter embraced her daughter tightly, vowing never to let her go again. However, the taste of the pomegranate lingered in Persephone's mind, reminding her of the underworld and its dark allure. Zeus, aware of the consequences of Persephone's choice, gently revealed the bittersweet truth: "Because of the seeds you ate, you must spend part of each year with Hades." Persephone's heart sank, knowing she would have to return to the realm of shadows. Determined to cherish her time above ground, she promised her mother that they would make the most of their moments together. As spring blossomed, Demeter's joy returned to the earth, bringing life and warmth back to the land. Yet, as autumn approached, Persephone prepared to descend once more, bound to Hades, forever a bridge between two worlds. The annual cycle of Persephone's return and departure embodies the rhythm of the seasons. When Persephone emerges from the underworld, spring awakens, filling the earth with vibrant blooms and lush greenery. Demeter, her mother, rejoices, nurturing the crops and bringing warmth to the world. The skies are bright, and life flourishes as the sun shines brightly, celebrating their reunion. As summer fades into autumn, Persephone must descend back to Hades. This bittersweet farewell marks the onset of winter, bringing a chill to the air. With her departure, Demeter's heart breaks, and the earth turns cold and barren. Trees shed their leaves, and fields lie dormant under a blanket of frost. This eternal cycle illustrates the balance between joy and sorrow, life and death. Persephone's journey reminds humanity of the interconnectedness of nature, as her presence brings life and vitality, while her absence signals a time of reflection and rest in the quiet embrace of winter. In the end, Demeter and Persephone come to accept their intertwined fates. With the knowledge that Persephone will spend half the year in the underworld, both mother and daughter find a sense of balance in their roles. Demeter understands that this cycle is essential for the world, and she learns to embrace the duality of life and death. As spring blossoms each year with Persephone's return, the earth rejoices in vibrant colors and bountiful harvests. This renewal symbolizes hope and the continuation of life. Conversely, when Persephone departs for the underworld, Demeter mourns, allowing the earth to rest. Winter envelopes the landscape, a time for reflection and rejuvenation. Together, they represent the harmony between the seasons, illustrating that both joy and sorrow are vital to existence. Their acceptance fosters an equilibrium in nature, reminding humanity that life thrives on the interplay of light and dark, growth and dormancy, forever maintaining the cycle of life and death.